Hello, YouTube. Happy Monday. Today we're talking about how to reverse hormonal weight gain. And your girl just came from a nature walk with one of my puppies. And I am going to be doing some meal prep. And I figured, why don't I chat with you guys while I am doing that? So welcome. Thank you for joining. And I'm making an anti-inflammatory meal, which I will tell you what that's all about here in a moment. So I pull out my ingredients. I went to the farmer's market this weekend and have all the good things. And I'm putting together a stir fry, but it's going to be anti-inflammatory and it's going to be hormone friendly. So let's get all those ingredients together. So I'm gonna be using chicken thighs, bell peppers, jalapenos. Check out this entire head of broccoli that I got from the farmer's market. Like, they don't play. They gave me the whole thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to debone my chicken thighs. I'm going to saute it in garlic, ginger, and turmeric. And like I said, this is all going to be hormone healthy. And while I'm cooking, we're gonna talk about hormones. And for those of you guys who are just joining, if you've never been on a live with me before, hi Susan, it's Christine Hronik, food scientist and chemical engineer. I'm author of the best-selling book, Unlock Your Macrotype, available everywhere books are sold, and it's actually on sale this weekend on Amazon. And I guess I should turn some lights on, but can I be honest with you guys? I hate overhead light, and even though I have recessed lights in my house, I hate overhead lighting. Like, I would live by candlelight if I could. Hey Gloria, hey Susan, and a couple quick announcements. I'm grabbing my ginger. I'm gonna be chopping up ginger and garlic right now as I debone my chicken thighs, and I'm gonna do that saute again. I have been a little reluctant to do big meal preps lately. And if you guys are joining, I would love to hear where you are from. I'm going to talk about a lot of things today. So just hang out and don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. And I guarantee you and promise it will be value adding. So please comment where you are from and how you found Gauge Girl Training. Because hormonal weight gain is a big problem. And it can be very frustrating, especially once you start packing on visceral fat. Visceral fat is the fat that gets concentrated all through your organs, around your liver, around your heart, around your intestines. And not only is it inflammatory, not only is it, not aesthetically where you want to be, it is very dangerous to the body because stored body fat around the organs, specifically visceral fat, is metabolically active. And many of you guys may not know that the more fat you have on your torso, the more your body is programmed to store more fat in the lower abdomen. There's a shift in the fat distribution pattern that occurs hormonally. And if you are watching this, the best way to understand if you are at risk is by looking at your waist to hip ratio. Hello, Brooklyn, Philippines, Kumusta ka? Maryland, New Jersey, I love it, Boston. And if your waist, well, in general for my ladies, if your waist is north of 35 inches, it's something to be concerned about. And guys, I'm not here to give you guys unrealistic body image standards or stress you out. I'm talking about your health. And my question to the group is your waist, and I say waist, I mean the smallest part of your waist, is that number above 35 inches? If it is, it's a concern. It needs to be addressed. And if you have gone through a season of extreme stress, of something going on with your health, if you've had a season of weight gain, and perhaps you gained weight years ago, but you just never worked it off. Oh, Wayne, Pennsylvania, we're literally neighbors. We are literally neighbors. That's Delaware County. That is not far from me at all. For those of you guys not sure what I'm doing, I'm deboning chicken thighs. We're talking about how to reverse hormonal weight gain, and I am making an anti-inflammatory stir fry, which is going to be based off of ginger, garlic, turmeric. Chicken thighs are going to be deboned. I'm going to cut it up so it's cubed. I always leave the skin on because I think the skin on chicken tastes phenomenal. I'm going to be using jalapeno, some broccoli, some bell peppers, just lots of veggies. I'm going to load it up on veggies. And if you want to reverse hormonal weight gain, my friends, you really need to take your nutrition seriously. And I have been promoting my hormone reset protocol for the last 3 years. And so many people think that if you have a hormonal imbalance, that you can just approach your weight loss the way you used to. When I say the way you used to, meaning work out more, eat a little less. And the thing is, it doesn't work that way when your hormones are challenged. So before we proceed any further, I am going to ask you guys to do me a favor. I'm going to ask you guys to please give this live stream a thumbs up. There are 3 dots on the lower right-hand corner of your video, and just tap that and give it a thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so, because it helps your girl out so much here on YouTube. And the next thing I wanted to say, do I still do body types, somatotypes? The answer is no, I do not. And ever since I wrote my book, Unlock Your Macro Type, I don't do body types anymore, I do macro types. And the reason for that is because body type takes into account your physical appearance only. Macro types takes into account your hormones, your genetics, your food intolerances, your carb tolerance level, and many other factors. So I think body types is a decent starting place to learn more about how to eat properly, but I don't believe that it is the end-all be-all, which is why I wrote a book called Unlock Your Macro Type, which is going to describe to you your individual body type based off of more information than just what you look like alone. And the reason why is you could be an endomorph, meaning endomorphs have a tendency to be more bottom heavy, store more in the hips, the thighs, and the glutes, but not have a hard time losing weight. And likewise, you could be a mesomorph, meaning you gain weight relatively evenly, but you struggle to lose weight like an endomorph. So I wanted, like I said, and thank you so much, Sabrina, I wanted to add more science to the equation and just make it make more sense. So with that being said, one of the first things that you can do to quickly reverse hormonal weight gain is to increase your dietary fiber. And I've talked about fiber till I'm blue in the face, and I will continue to talk about fiber till I'm blue in the face. How many of you guys pay attention to your fiber intake? I know that I have you guys schooled on paying attention to your protein, carbs, and fat, and whether or not you're actively doing that, that's one thing. But I think most of you guys by now inherently know that macros matter, and you understand that if it cannot be measured, it cannot be improved. But the question I have to you guys is, how many of you guys monitor fiber? How many of you guys even know what fiber is or make sure that you're getting enough? You try, but not hard enough. And I appreciate that honesty, because fiber is going to make a very big difference. And I'm going to explain to you guys why. Sorry, I need to get some water because your girl's thirsty. So dietary fiber, this is the supplement I use. I use the Gauge Life Prebiotic Fiber. And we have a July 4th promo on this where you can get our bundle on this. 1 scoop has 10 grams of fiber. So I'm going to explain why fiber is so important. Gloria says, I totally believe in the macro types. Your book is great. I am a low carb, high fat macro type, and paying attention to that has really helped. You're using an app to track everything and you make sure you get 30 grams. Yes. Okay, guys. Fiber is your best friend if you have hormonal belly. Hormonal belly is when you start gaining it right here. Like if it kind of like folds over a little bit, guys, that is hormonal belly. I'm chopping up some ginger and I am very aggressive with my ginger and with my garlic. So fiber is going to help you for several reasons. Number one, It's going to detoxify the body of excess circulating hormones. If you are irregular in your cycle, or if you are not having regular bowel movements, you need to understand that the way that a lot of these toxic hormones, whether it's coming from your food, whether it's coming from personal care products, maybe it's coming from your shampoo, maybe it's coming from your makeup, maybe it's coming from lotions and creams, maybe it's coming from your perfume, and maybe it's coming from plastics. And guys, I'm not trying to make you guys paranoid, but excess circulating hormones, if they are not released, it's going to introduce imbalances. And you need to be having regular daily bowel movements. Most of my clients, especially my one-on-one clients, and I'm not trying to sound TMI, but they probably have at least 1 to 2 really good solid bowel movements a day. And if you are not having like a good bowel movement like regularly, that is a problem. So the first question I have for you guys is, how many of you guys are having good bowel movements daily, at least once a day? And I know that might be embarrassing to talk about. It might be TMI. It might be things that, you don't want to discuss. But, as a nutritionist and as a health coach, when I work with my clients, these are things that I need to know. And these are things that you need to pay attention to, because when you consume enough fiber, it's going to bulk your stool volume, meaning your stools are going to be solid, they're going to be full, and you're going to feel like you have released, if that makes sense. And the question I have for the group is, how many of you guys go at least once a day? You do have a good BM twice a day, and that's excellent, and that is how it's supposed to be. If you're not, there's probably something wrong. Guys, I had a client who started with me recently, one of my new coaching clients, and check this out. She was only going like once or twice a week. Like, it was really, really hard for her, no pun intended, for her to go and have a solid bowel movement. Now, this stuff is incredible because it's gentle. Like, I was really scared when I first introduced this into my line, and when I was, doing the product development with this. When I tried it, I was really terrified. I was like, oh my gosh, I was afraid that it was going to be too much going on. But guys, this was gentle. This was gentle. It did just what it needed to do, once a day, but not a release. I want you guys, if any of you guys are dealing with stubborn hormonal belly fat, start increasing your fiber to bare minimum of 25 grams a day. But if you want to do a detoxification, you want to probably go up to 30, 35, 40. I even have clients who go over 40 grams of fiber per day during the detoxification phase of my hormone reset. And this weekend, for July 4th, we started our July 4th sale early, where you guys can save 50% off of the Hormone Reset Nutrition Protocol, which is excellent for you guys to drop that hormonal belly. What am I looking for? I'm looking for garlic. I'm looking for garlic. All right. So I just chopped probably about that much ginger in my skillet, and we are going to make this delicious. So again, increasing your fiber. So that's going to detoxify excess circulating hormones. Did you guys also know that fiber will bind to the bad hormones and eliminate them from your body? Number 2. Number 3, it will naturally lower your cholesterol levels. So if you, or if anybody you know is dealing with high cholesterol, increasing your dietary fiber is going to be excellent for that. And it's going to help regulate your gut health, because please note that this is a prebiotic fiber, which means this is a healthy bacteria that your gut microbiome can feed off of. And I strongly encourage you guys to get on the Hormone Reset Protocol. And if you purchase it now, you do get a free gift of the 12-week metabolic boosting training program. So getting enough fiber is going to be really helpful to reversing hormonal weight gain. The next thing is going to be regulating your blood sugar. If you are dealing with hormonal imbalances, you're probably going to feel very effing hungry. And I mean, like, how many of you guys, have you ever like gotten like an attack of the sugar cravings? Like, and I mean this sincerely, has anyone here ever had sugar cravings so strong that you literally felt like you were possessed? And I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm talking like you felt like no matter what you did, you were just so hungry and you didn't care. You didn't care because your body was just craving, craving, craving. You literally felt like there might have been like a monster inside of you. If that's you, what is actually happening is something called insulin resistance. And it's a really big problem because when you eat carbs, the end user of those carbs is not your stomach, it's your cells. And what happens is you eat carbs, you eat carbs, you eat carbs. And that's supposed to send a signal to your brain, hey, I just ate, I'm full. But the problem is the cells do not receive the energy from those carbs. Picture like you're at the gas station, right? Picture you're at the gas station and you're here putting gas in the tank at the gas station. You're pumping, you're pumping, you're pumping, you're pumping. But the gas is not getting to the fuel tank. Picture it's just spilling all over the ground. And in your mind, you're like, geez, I just spent $70, $80. My car's gas tank should be full now and we should be good to go. But the answer is no, you're not good to go because the fuel that you're giving it is not getting to where it needs to be. That is, it's not getting where it needs to be. So when you eat those carbs, and it's not energizing you and you still feel hungry, guys, still feeling hungry in spite of the fact that you just ate is a sign of insulin resistance, because your brain still keeps getting the signal, we didn't eat, we didn't eat, we didn't eat, because you spike your blood sugar when you consume carbs, that glucose goes into your blood. That triggers your pancreas to release insulin. Insulin's job is to shuttle the carbohydrates, the glucose out of your blood and inside the cells. Its job is to take the food you just ate out of the blood and into the cells. But the problem is insulin resistance. It's knocking on the door, knocking on the door, knocking on the door. Your cells never see the energy. Your cells never see the energy. And it's so frustrating because, you guys, if you just ate an F ton of food, you shouldn't still be hungry. But if you are, there's a disconnect. So what's happening is all the carbs you're eating, your body's going to store it as fat because it's not using it as full. So how do you change that? You have to shift your energy source. You're going to have to take a break from carbohydrates. Now, I have a beautiful success story that I want to tell you guys about. I have a client who, a coaching client who did my program. We had her on a lower carb approach. We really improved her nutrition, and she worked with me for about 9 months. So she did several back-to-back one-on-one coaching packages. And can I tell you guys, number one, she reversed out of type 2 diabetes. Number two, we had her on a very low carb approach. We have her now on moderate carbs. And the thing is, you guys, going low carb is not something you need to do forever. You need to do it long enough to reverse your insulin resistance, but it doesn't mean you go back to eating shit. It means you can still eat carbs, but you know, we're talking, you're going to be a little bit more moderate. You're going to be more on the side of the spectrum that's like more vegetables, some low sugar fruit. Yes, you can have some starches here and there, but it's not going to be insane amounts every time. And you guys, her transformation is incredible. She looks amazing. Everybody's so different. You didn't eat carbs, you wouldn't have the glycogen to even work out, but you see what you're saying. And the thing is, when you don't have glycogen, your body will rely on other energy sources such as ketones and such as stored body fat. And there's a process called gluconeogenesis. It is a chemical process where your body will break down fatty acids and turn them into carbohydrates. So even though you didn't consume carbohydrates, your body can take something like glycerol, which is a byproduct of carb, glycerol is the backbone of a fatty acid chain. So for instance, I wish I could draw out the chemical structure. I have my whiteboard upstairs. So a fatty acid chain has a glycerol backbone. So if you cleave the fatty acids off of the backbone, you could utilize that backbone as carbohydrates through this chemical process called gluconeogenesis. So the thing is, your body will still create the glucose that you need, even if you go very low carb. The thing is, I'm talking about all of the excess sugar. So just heads up, I have some avocado oil spray. I've shifted to avocado oil spray, especially for stir fries, because this does better at high heat. So just so you guys can see, there's garlic and ginger in here. And I'm gonna set the skillet to about a medium. The sad thing is that when you talk to a doctor and tell them the problem, they don't take you seriously. They just don't want to make the right checkups. And doctors are the most frustrating ever when it comes to that type of stuff. How are you guys on your water intake today? All right, so I have my chicken, which I am going to cut into 1-inch cubes. And I love to leave the skin on. And actually, before I do that, let me grab my spices. Where's my turmeric? So I have garlic, ginger. I'll do some black pepper. Ground turmeric. This is so good for those of you guys who have inflammatory issues. And do I have anybody here with rheumatoid arthritis? I have rheumatoid arthritis. I'm not sure if you guys know that. And I like to use turmeric, ginger, anytime I can. Same with cayenne, because it's so good at healing the joints. You don't have a thyroid, so how do I balance my hormones? Even on your medication, it's never level. You sound like you would do well with a consultation or one-on-one online coaching. I deal with ladies with thyroid issues all the time on your knees because you play basketball. I'm telling you guys, start introducing turmeric and ginger into your day. Same with cayenne. And if you guys are just joining the live stream, welcome. I'm making an anti-inflammatory stir fry. We're talking about how to reverse hormonal belly weight gain. We talked about including prebiotic fiber. We're talking about going lower carb in your nutrition protocol. The next thing, which is very underrated, but it needs to be discussed, is we need to regulate your sleep. How can you create a low carb meal plan for a vegetarian who does not eat eggs? I would encourage you, you would be a great candidate for the plant-based hormone reset. There is no eggs and no dairy in it. And you don't want to consume dairy when you're resetting your hormones because of several reasons. Number one, dairy has a tendency to contain more hormones. It depends on like the source that you get it from, number one. Number two, the lactose and milk sugars has a tendency to inflame most people, not everybody, but most. You would do wonderful. The plan is 50% off right now, Divani. Excellent opportunity to save, and that plant-based hormone reset is amazing. I'm talking like you are gonna feel better than you've ever felt in your life. I am not a vegan, I am not plant-based, and I have eaten plant-based for quite some time because it was so effing good. Now, with that being said, let me just spray a little bit more oil here as we get the skillet going. So with that being said, we were just talking about ways to reverse hormonal weight gain. And I want to talk to you guys about sleep. Have any of you guys ever had a terrible day after a bad night's rest? Meaning you didn't sleep well, therefore you probably didn't eat the best, maybe you were in a bad mood, maybe you were cranky, maybe you just didn't perform optimally as a result of compromised sleep. Compromised sleep is no joke. It will have you acting all kinds of off. And if there was one thing I would ask all of you guys to do immediately, it would be to get your sleep back on track. Where is my magnesium? I keep it upstairs. If you are not already taking my magnesium glycinate supplement, that is going to be incredible for resetting your cortisol levels. If you are dealing with chronic elevated stress, and meaning if you let that go unregulated, my friends, you are going to have all kinds of problems. And I think that here's my take. Stress happens, stressful situations absolutely can and do happen, they occur, and it's not like you can avoid stress, but you have to manage it better. How many of you guys watching this can say without a shadow of a doubt that you absolutely positively can manage your stress better? You took an Epsom salt bath before the other day and you slept amazing. That is awesome news. I'm really glad to hear that. I want you guys to start taking the magnesium glycinate specifically. It has to be glycinate. It cannot be any other form. If you do oxide or citrate, those forms are better used as a laxative. You're trying to regulate your sleep, but you have frozen shoulders, sleep horribly, but your shoulder pain is too uncomfortable. I am very sorry to hear that. Can you talk to your doctor to give you anything for pain relief, Ruby? And if you want to talk to me more offline about pain relief strategies, we can talk offline. So magnesium glycinate has changed my life. I sleep like a baby. I'm talking like, if you've never tried magnesium glycinate, you guys, I'm like, this has to be like, how do I say this? This ought to be illegal to sleep this good and that not be a drug and not have like a negative effect. Every day, yes, Sierra. I recommend it every night right before bedtime. I could set a clock from the time I take it till the time I'm about to be passed out. And for me, sorry guys, I have to wash my hands. For me, it takes me about 30 minutes. It takes me about 30 minutes or so from the time I take magnesium glycinate to the time that I'm knocked out. Other things I want you guys to start doing is I want you guys to start minimizing your caffeine intake. Start minimizing caffeine. And I know I'm asking a lot. Take it every night. The answer is yes. You will feel it. You will definitely feel it. And we do have a hormone reset mini bundle, Sierra, if you wanted to also get in on the prebiotics, as well as the probiotics, as well as the Indole 3 carbonol. So now we're going to add the turmeric to the saute. Again, we have, let me turn the screen a little bit here. Ginger, garlic, chicken thighs cut into 1-inch cubes. I'm going to be a little liberal with the turmeric. Now, healing your gut health is also going to be very important. So like I said, when you're introducing all kinds of like sugary foods and refined foods and processed foods, it's introducing bacteria into your gut that is not good bacteria. Like, it's not natural to be eating that way, if that makes sense. It's definitely not natural. And ooh, guys, who likes spice? Who likes spice? I'm gonna add an entire jalapeno to this. I'm gonna add an entire jalapeno. I love seeds and all. How do I feel about greens powder? I think that greens powder is probably one of the most overrated supplements on the planet. I know that Bloom product is really popular right now. You guys, if you actually read the label, it's got like 1 gram of fiber per serving. It's like 1 gram of fiber, maybe 2. Like, it's not helping you, you guys. It's, whoever invented that is a genius marketer, because it's not doing much of anything. How do I feel about using a dry sauna for approximately 20 minutes after exercising? I support using a sauna before and after exercise. Does it help your hormones? I haven't seen the data saying that it does. For me, I find it relaxing. I find it therapeutic. I think it helps your joints. But I can't conclusively say that, yes, it helps your hormones. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. But I don't think it's necessarily going to be one of those things that, like, makes a statistical difference. But if it's lowering your stress and it's making you feel good, then I think that that's a good thing. All right, so I got this big ass thing of broccoli. Who likes broccoli? Who likes broccoli? Now, incorporating cruciferous vegetables into the mix is going to be very, very good for your hormones, because cruciferous, cruciferous or cruciferous? Cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. There is a phytochemical in here called indole 3-carbinol, and that naturally detoxifies the body of excess circulating estrogens. You guys, broccoli is your best friend. Now, the thing is, some people can't tolerate it. I do have a wonderful supplement called IC3. You like broccoli cooked with cheese? See, I'm not that, like, don't get me wrong, I like cheese. But like, I could live without it, if that makes sense. I could live without it. I do like it though. Oh my gosh, you guys, I wish you could smell this. It smells like ginger, it smells like garlic, it smells like, oh, it smells so good. And like the turmeric's got its own vibe. All right, now one thing you guys need to know, anytime you use turmeric, you want to include black pepper. Anytime you use turmeric, you want to include black pepper, because black pepper helps to activate the turmeric, and you'll get a better anti-inflammatory benefit when you combine turmeric. Ooh, I just like maced myself. Ooh. Oh, you're a new sub. How do you know if your hormones are imbalanced? There's a lot of ways to know your hormones imbalanced. I'd say the 3 biggest ways you can tell your hormones are imbalanced is if you are gaining more weight, specifically in the lower stomach, if your weight gain is not budging no matter what you do, and if you just have this tired ass feeling all the time, where no matter how much you sleep, no matter how much coffee you drink, or even no matter what you eat, like it feels like nothing energizes you. Those are like the high level things. Now, if we want to go down into nuance a little bit more, if your waist is north of 35 inches for a female, if you have insulin resistance, if your A1C is greater than 5.7, if your fasting blood glucose is greater than 100, if your estrogen to progesterone ratios are less than 100, and if you don't know how to do that, you guys can send me a DM with your labs. And if anybody here has been wanting to work with me one-on-one as your coach, I am available to do a discovery call with you for 10 minutes where we talk about you, we talk about what's going on with you, you tell me about your health concerns, and we see if we're a good fit. So if you want to book a discovery call, you guys can email info@gaugegirltraining.com, or you can DM me. So see, now I feel kind of weird. All right, guys. I took all of the florets off of this, but like I don't want to let all this go to waste. Should I like chop this up and do something with it, or should I just toss it? Is it possible to forego the use of supplements and maintain the fiber intake from consuming fruits instead? The answer is yes, but I'm going to be very honest with you. You're going to have a hard time. You're going to struggle. I'd say can you do it? It can be done, but try it for yourself and you'll see exactly what I mean, why it's so hard. It's not just going to be fruit, because if you go too much fruit, you're going to go too high in sugar. You're going to need a lot of vegetables. You are going, like, the amount of veggies and things you're going to need to eat is going to be a lot. Like, I just want to give you a prime example. Perfect example is spinach or leafy greens. A handful of spinach. To us, that's a lot. That's only 1 gram of fiber. It's too strong of a taste. Girl, I kind of want to just throw it away. I feel bad wasting it because I know that there's lots of people that would like try to save it, but like I'm not really with that stocky vibe. So Divine, like I said, now if you start incorporating like chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, all those things, again, it can be done. But the thing is, the only time I recommend supplements, my friends, is when it is more convenient and economical to get the nutrients that you need from a supplement versus real whole food. So for instance, I offer indole 3-carbinol, which is a dietary supplement great for balancing your hormones. And Can you get indole-3 carbinol from broccoli, kale, cauliflower, Brussels? Yes. How much of that would you need to eat to get a therapeutic dose? You would need to eat 8 pounds of broccoli. And I love broccoli, but I'm not eating 8 pounds of broccoli. You guys see what I'm saying? It's just too much for it to be practical. And because it's too much for it to be practical, I pass on those types of things. So with that being said, now, the next thing you want to do is, another way to tell if you do have a hormone imbalance, like I said, insulin resistance. If you find that you have darkening pigmentation around your neck, if your face is starting to swell where you have like a moon face to your appearance, if you have darkness on the necks, the armpit, and perhaps in the groin, if you have skin tags, if you have tingling in your arms and legs, if you have really bad headaches that you just can't shake and they're like unexplainable, that is also a sign. If your libido is low, if you are dealing with issues related to infertility, that is an issue. So guys, I think a woman inherently knows when something's off with her body and she's not able to lose weight the way she used to. So again, you guys can absolutely integrate the tips that I'm sharing with you, but I do encourage you guys to strongly consider going on the hormone reset protocol. Now, what can you expect on the reset? You do need to give up caffeine, and I know that shocks a lot of people, but when you are relying on caffeine constantly for energy, it kind of takes your body's ability to self-regulate itself naturally, especially with regards to cortisol levels. If that is too scary or daunting for most of you, which it is for a lot of us, you can also just cut back to at least just 1 cup, but I do want you guys to really like lean off of the caffeine. The next thing is you want to start incorporating more nuts, more seeds, more chicken and fish. I do have my clients stay away from red meat on the hormone reset. And I have nothing against red meat, but the quality of your red meat needs to be from a source that is organic, that is grass-fed, because there is a lot of hormones that are introduced from food. That's why, from the hormones. Now again, you can, if you have a really good organic grass-fed source, that's great, but the hormones that they use and inject in the animals to grow them to certain sizes, you just like the taste of coffee? Does it matter? Is it the cortisol that is the problem from it? The answer is yes. And if you just like the taste of it, you can certainly just do decaf. So my question to you guys, and this is something I really want to know, is what type of content do you want to see me do in future videos? Every time I do a long form YouTube video, I feel like I get better engagement from these live streams as well as the shorts, but I'm happy to go back to my long form YouTube videos. I would just love to know what you guys want me to talk about. I did think about doing an entire series on hormone health. I'm going in and out of the nuances of each hormone, from estrogen to progesterone to testosterone, labs, things that you really want to be looking out for, DHEA. And I thought that might be helpful, but please let me know what you guys want to learn more about, because your girl is itching to get the whiteboard out and to get back to classic Gauge Girl. I do think that series would be pretty cool as well. But guys, this is my stir fry. This is my stir fry, something really simple. Oh, so good. So guys, that's it for now. But again, I just wanted to remind you guys, hormonal health would be wonderful. I appreciate that feedback. So guys, please do me a favor. Please leave a thumbs up, the 3 dots. I would be happy to do so, D. Again, don't miss out. Go to gaugelife.com to get the prebiotic fiber bundle sale. And for July 4th, our hormone reset protocol is 50% off. So I'll keep you guys posted about the new series. And if there's anything else you guys need, please message me on Instagram. But if anybody wants to do a discovery call with me, so let's say you've been following me for quite some time, you have some questions, or maybe you're new here and you're like, I really resonate with the teaching, but I'm just not sure how that applies to me and what makes sense for me. So for those of you guys who are serious, and I mean this sincerely, I can take one person today, one person. We can talk on the phone. Again, it could be like a 10-minute call, and I will talk to you. Like literally, I will personally call you on the phone. You have to message me on Instagram or email my team at info@gaugegirltraining.com. Take care, everyone. Have a blessed day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.